All right, same article we were talking about the players voting Josh Allen in an ESPN article, the most overrated QB in the NFL. Well, they had two VJ that were tied for the most underrated, one being Brock Purdy, the other Matthew Stafford.
Love it.
Now, Stafford, he gets love here from these 103 anonymous players.
Yeah.
But also, Caleb Williams wasn't anonymous. He said the two best quarterbacks in the league were Aaron Rodgers. That's obviously his hero, but right now, Aaron Rodgers obviously not the best quarterback in the league. But Aaron Rodgers and Matthew Stafford at number 2.
Yeah.
And C.J. Stroud praised Matthew Stafford to the high heavens a couple of months ago. And so do you think that Stafford has been underrated throughout his career or is underrated now? And where are you at on his Hall of Fame, bid?
I love this topic because Matty Stafford is my guy. He's always been my guy since he came out of West Texas High School and went off to Georgia. Georgia, Chris, always has players I've always had kind of a crush on. They had Hines Ward, they had Quincy Carter, Craig Lumpkin at running back. They've always A.J. Green. There's always been these Georgia guys for some reason. Not my team.
Nick Chubb.
Yeah, oh man, they just always have these guys. I go between the hedges, Ugga the dog, all of that. He was one of my first kind of crushes of a team that I don't cheer for in college football. He was in Detroit for so long, and everything was just so bad there for so long. He just got all the blame, right? That's the quarterback position. He got all the blame. But let me just mention rookie receiving record, Puka Nacua. Who's his quarterback? Oh, it was Matthew Stafford. Single season receiving record, Megatron. Then did it again with my man Coop. Coop's having a party, right? I mean, he's part of 3 huge receiving seasons also too. 8 straight 16-16, which means 16 games, 16 starts. He's always been available. 56,000 career yards, 357 touchdowns. And to me, if he's not first, second, I can take second ballot. But after that,
wow.
Yes. Why not? Now we playing around.
I don't think he's surefire.
Not surefire Hall of Famer?
Yeah, and I'm not saying he's not a Hall of Famer.
Top 10 in yards, top 10 in touchdowns.
I think it's questionable, man. It's
Wow.
It's beyond questionable.
Really?
The Super Bowl, certainly. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler.
Okay.
Two-time Pro Bowler in how many years has he played?
I mean, they take 3 quarterbacks a year, and we know discount double
Pro
check
Bowler.
held that spot.
You
I know that.
You know how many dudes that made last year? Gardner Minshew was in the Pro Bowl, bro.
Oh, come on. The Pro Bowl don't
Mitch
mean nothing this year.
Trubisky has been a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, that don't mean the Pro Bowl doesn't mean.
Who was the dude, the backup for the Ravens, who was a Pro Bowler?
I think Mac Jones was a Pro Bowler.
No, Mac Jones.
Yeah,
that's my point. And he's only made 2 in 15 years.
The Pro Bowl's different now, though, Chris. Like we have to admit that.
I know, but 2 VJ.
Okay,
I'm just look. I like Stafford too. I don't like him as much as you and C.J. Stroud and all these guys.
I love him
because obviously, had Jaquaski Tart been able to hold on to the rock, then Matthew Stafford don't even have that Super Bowl. And he's actually viewed as the GOAT and not in a good way rather than the hero. So I'm just saying, Stafford, I know Detroit has been a bad organization.
Yes.
Till recently. But those teams had some players. Calvin Johnson, you mentioned him. The defense in Ndamukong Suh, they had some other nice players. And he could not get them over the hump. I get that he throws a pretty ball and all that, and you mentioned the stats and all that. But I just look, maybe, not even maybe, had he been linked up with a Sean McVay and the team like the Rams earlier in his career, he's probably a no doubt Hall of Famer.
Yeah, no, I think he's a Hall of Famer.
But just with 2 Pro Bowls, man, it's gonna be tough. Those are basically his only accolades. He was a comeback player of the year. Obviously, he's won the Super Bowl. But I mean, the accolades are missing. Well, that's what I'm saying.
But the accolades may be missing, but the totality of his numbers are not. He is 11th all time in touchdowns.
Yeah, but
he's
numbers,
that matters.
We're in an era. I get that numbers matter. I would never say numbers don't matter. But you also realize we are in an era where the top 10 quarterbacks statistically are all going to be from the modern era because they throw the football more. The rules are different. Look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady There's no way in his early and mid 40s, he was as good as he was in his 30s when he was winning that second run of Super Bowls. But statistically, statistically his best years came in his 40s because it's easier now to rack up big numbers. So you do have to. I know he did it with Megatron, and I'm not trying to say Stafford's not nice. I'm just saying when you say he might be a first ballot Hall of Famer,
yes,
absolutely a second ballot. I think you got to hold the phones on that just because the accolades aren't there. Yeah, the gaudy numbers are there, but not much winning, obviously, and not many accolades.
He's going to finish top 10 in passing yards and passing touchdowns. The list: Tom Brady, Hall of Famer; Breeze, Hall of Famer; Manning, Hall of Famer; Favre, Hall of Famer; Roethlisberger, Hall of Famer; Phillip Rivers, Hall of Famer; Dan Marino, Aaron Rodgers, Eli.
Rivers, we'll see.
Yeah, I think Rivers. He eventually gets in.
Hall of Famer by any stretch.
He eventually gets in.
We'll see. I mean, right now he's not a Hall of Famer.
Matt Ryan, I will say we'll see about. But the point I'm making is the company he's going to be in, they're all going to be Hall of Famers.
You just mentioned two dudes that aren't definite Hall of Famers.
I think, we disagree on Phillip Rivers. We agree on Matt Ryan. We just disagree on Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers is a Hall of Famer quarterback. He will have a gold jacket.
Maybe. I mean, and Phillip Rivers is not a no-brainer Hall of Famer. He's not.
I disagree. I think he is.
Nah.
I think he is. If a guy like Dan Fouts is in a Hall of Fame, you're telling me Phillip Rivers isn't a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, well, I'm not saying Rivers is not a Hall of Famer. I think he's right there on the borderline.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he's not a definite Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
he's not a guy you can, like when Aaron Rodgers, we all know, going to be a Hall of Famer. That's not Phillip Rivers. And I'm not saying he's got to be as good as Rodgers, but he is not a surefire, no-brainer Hall of Famer.
Top 6 in passes, top 6. I'm sorry.
People understand, VeeJay, that the numbers are going to be skewed. That's like looking at Terry Bradshaw's numbers and saying he couldn't play, or Troy Aikman's numbers and saying he couldn't play. It was a whole different era.
I get it, but I would never say that.
But I'm just saying, when you give me the top 10, all that, he ain't gonna be top 10 for long. Because a lot of these dudes playing now are going to rack up better numbers.
Now, it's going to be hard. Even in today's game, with the pass happy, it's going to be hard for these guys to reach 70,000. I mean, Mahomes is going to do it, but it's going to be hard as hell for these guys to reach 70,000 yards. If you look at even guys that's playing today, Russell Wilson's at 43. Russell Wilson's not getting to 50K. Joe Flacco's at 43,000. He's not getting to 50K. You got guys like Carr and Cousins. They're both at 39,000. They're not getting to 50K.
But those dudes are a whole level below the guys we're talking about.
No, but I'm saying even if you bring me a younger guy, you think Joe Burrow's going to throw for 70,000 yards? I don't.
Well, he don't stay. If he stayed healthy, he could.
There you go. If was an eighth, we'd all be high. So the if factor.
Well, on that note, let's end this segment.